Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to the Sphere. This episode is sponsored by 3 Hues Painting Studio. Come paint, sip, and party at 3 Hues. Visit our website today at 3hueshouston.com. Elite Dental Wellness. At Elite Dental Wellness, Dr. Ashandra Batiste understands that one of the biggest obstacles is dental fear. The vision at Elite Dental Wellness is to ensure every patient is treated with respect, ultimate care, patience, and love. Call us today to make an appointment at area code 713-789-8680. Looking to advertise? Join the Sphere's vast demographic reach of thousands of people all over the world. Send an email today to advertise@thesphere.tv or call us at area code 832-772-7789.
Welcome to A La Carte, your premier cooking show where we're hosting the best chefs and caterers in Houston. I'm your host, Chef Jones with Good Meal Deals Service, personal chef service. You can find me on social media, goodmeal_deals on Instagram, or you can even find me on Facebook, Good Meal Deals. How you doing?
I'm all right.
Got
How
my
are you?
foodie in town.
Foodie in town.
What?
I'll take that. What's up, good people? My name is Garry Lee, also known as G Hawkins. Of course, you can find me anywhere online: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, at G Hawkins. That's G Hawkins with a Z. And Robin, thank you so much for having me back on. I appreciate it.
No problem. Anytime.
I appreciate
anytime.
it. So, and one of the things I love about coming on the show, one, is because we get to talk about food. And secretly,
just make you hungry.
I enjoy a lot of good food. I'm just being honest, right? I enjoy a lot of good food. I'm sure those that are watching us right now, you enjoy a lot of good food. What's up, Jordan? We see you, brother. Make sure you hit that share button, man.
Share some love.
Yeah, but I love this show. One, because we get safety. We get to hear about a lot of things that are happening in the food industry. Just a lot of news stories that we normally don't hear. 2, y'all give great tips and tricks for the kitchen. I've learned so much about sponges,
a lot of things that people don't think about, the small things. So,
eggs, how to handle a lot of different things. And then last but not least, of course, y'all actually go in the kitchen and cook a meal each and every week for people to follow with a recipe. Who's doing that in the podcast?
And they're very easy recipes, and it's budget friendly, and it's of course always delicious, the a la carte style. So you can't go wrong with that.
Exactly.
Can't go wrong.
I'm just excited. What's popping today, Robin? What we got going on?
Well, today, of course, in our previous episodes, we've been talking about all this food delivery, Amazon, and it's going down.
We talked about Amazon, buying
Olive Garden. We talked about Amazon buying Whole Foods, just different food deliveries. So, of course, we want to take a step back with this episode. We just want to talk a little bit about the safety of food delivery, because that's important. It sounds good. It's convenient. Really good. It's convenient, but also we need to still think about the food safety that goes with delivering, because now with delivering food, you mixing chemicals with perishable goods, and that's what we're going to talk about today.
Well, let's dive in.
We have an article. And it's just basically talking about time bomb carrier shippers do little to protect perishables, and you have to really think about this. These are things that you're eating. It's delivered to your front door, and you see that box I was just left there. You have food in the box. You don't know how long that box is going to sit outside. And although it does have things in it like dry ice, and you don't know how they really package it to know that it's going to be okay just sitting outside in a contaminated area.
Yeah, and that's the hardest part, I would say.
Yes.
Because even in the article, as it says, 20% of the food that we consume will be shipped from an online service provider by the year 2025. So that's less than 10 years from now. We're talking about 1/5 of the food we consume with a country that's 350 plus million people. So you've got 70 million plus people that's eating online based foods,
and that's scary because it goes through so many processes, so many hands, so many machines and transportation vehicles, and just making sure that it's just.
It ain't like your mama washing lettuce at home. Like
I know.
That's what's missing from this. Like,
yes.
That's not happening. So I think it's a good article, and I think it makes sense to have these conversations.
Yes.
Because people need to be aware.
They need to be aware, and it's just, you know, usually how people get packages, and it's a certain way you package things, but specifically food is just a really big deal, just to make sure we don't get those foodborne illnesses because it's in transit. Always in transit. It reminds me of, you know, the episode that we had when we talked about the China chicken. You know, that chicken is in transit, so you want to make sure that it's being processed right. The processing is everything.
Yeah.
From the packaging, the processing, the delivery, just even your mail carriers need to know how to handle perishable foods. And I feel like they should treat it, if you don't sign off for it, they shouldn't leave perishable items in front of your door. That
makes sense. Another thing people need to be aware of is temperature.
Yes.
Temperature. According to this article, almost half of the food that they tested arrived at above 40 degrees Fahrenheit, which is the top limit for your safety, for temperature safety when it comes to food. So if you're eating food that has been preheated, so to speak, if we might as well just call it that,
preheated,
you know, some food that was almost at 75 degrees, if it's preheated, now you've got bacteria possibly growing. You got all type of other things that we've talked about here on this show.
We've talked about it here on the show.
So
all the time. You know, temperature is very, very, very important. I always stress food safety because it's everything. Everything when it comes to delivery. You know, it's a lot of companies out here now that does it. Blue Apron, HelloFresh, that's becoming a new trend, like you said, delivering food to your front door. They even have it to where you can get restaurant food delivered, although that will be hot. But the freshness of it, you have to think about the it's just a lot of different factors, and this is such a broad subject when it comes to food delivery because.
Well, let me ask you a question then, right? So since you're in the food industry, you're a chef.
Yes.
Would you ever consider, and you mentioned companies that do the restaurant deliveries like a Uber Eats and stuff like that, which obviously the food's already prepared for you.
Yeah.
They're simply just delivering it.
Yeah.
Would you ever feel comfortable shipping your food to someone where they needed to prepare it? And if so, what do you think would be some things you would do for that?
That's a good question. I've actually thought about it. I put thought into it. I did do a test run with my mean greens. I sent some to my grandmother in Chicago, and I had experience with the dry ice and making sure you box it this way and they got to weigh it this way. So many steps put into it, but I really don't feel like I would be comfortable sending food that far away, you know, through the mail and having to just sit, you know, like. Because you think about it, when you make something fresh, if it's made and you send it off, you have to consider that shelf life plus the shelf life once they get it sitting in the refrigerator. So it's like added. It takes away from them actually being able to enjoy it for the time that they're supposed to have it versus you getting something here local and it's already pre-cooked and you put it in your refrigerator. It has 3 to 5 days, but if you get it shipped, it takes away 2 to 3 days. So you're only left with 2 days. And you're really being put at risk because you don't know. You don't know that. You don't know how long the package been sitting before they actually give it to you. And that's also, we talked about that here on A La Carte too. You know, expiration dates and use by and sell by. Those things are very, very important because they might not tell you, you know, the package, when you open your package, it say used by such and such date, but it didn't probably already been out in transit and processing for this amount of days, but they don't let you know that. So
that's heavy.
Me personally, I wouldn't ship food. If you want it from me, Good Meal Deals, we like to service you locally so it's fresh and just, you know, safe.
Yeah. Well, you heard it here first.
Safe, because that's just too much of a headache. You got to worry about it getting there, and if the packaging people gonna handle it with care, and if you don't package it right, you know that gas with the dry ice can contaminate the foods. It's just not what I need.
It's not a good look. And I think you hit the head on the nail earlier when you said that it cuts people's shelf life. So for those that are watching us right now, for those that are listening, make sure you're aware of that. You know, if you're gonna have food that's coming to you, that's sitting on your kitchen counter, that food has already lost 48 hours. It's already lost 72 hours of freshness. Even though they say hello fresh, but or Blue Apron, you know, the apron might not be so blue. It might be turning a little green. green or a little brown. So you've got to
yeah.
be concerned about that shelf
You
life of food.
have to be concerned because that time frame is everything, especially when it comes to food. But speaking of time frames, there's never a time frame where we're talking about this portion of the show, which is sponsored by 3 Hues.
Ooh.
Come paint, sip, and party. Join a party or book your own private event for kids or adults. Let 3 Hues help you create your masterpiece on canvas step by step. A paint party is perfect for any occasion: a church function, wedding showers, team building, Girl Scouts earning their badge, date night, birthdays, or anytime you just want to have fun. Ask them about their summer camp programs, kids clubs, special events, and wine glass painting events. Did we mention that 3 Hues is mobile too? Yes, they can go to the studio or they can come to you. So make sure you guys visit their website today, 3hueshouston.com.
There
okay,
it is.
So it's no time frame on this. So you ain't got to worry about this.
No
it's
time
all,
frame.
It's all safe, fun, and safe for you. So, man. But that is something very, very, very serious. And that just takes me to the dry ice. Now, a lot of people don't know what dry ice. When I first used dry ice.
Talk about it.
When I first used dry ice myself, you have to know how much to. Well, let me take a step back. Food delivery is expensive alone because of the weight. Dry ice, you have to buy it by a certain, like a specific weight. And so when I first got my first experience with dry ice, I didn't know where to get it. And so when I found out where to get it, it's big blocks, but you have to know how to break it down to put it in the box. And everybody don't know how to do that. Yeah. And so
I don't. I've heard of it. I play with it. I have no idea how dry ice works.
Yeah, so dry ice is something serious. It usually comes in a package, or sometimes it's the actual ice you can just put inside. But like I said, there's so many steps to this process because you need a foam box for the ice with the product in it, then another box to put around that box, and then another box because you have to make sure there's a certain level of space so that the oxygen, when dry ice melts, it lets off carbon and it has to relieve, or it's just like what can I say? I'm trying to think of a good analogy for this. When it's something trapped, like gas is trapped, eventually it will explode. And so it works the same way with perishable goods in a box. So you need a styrofoam box, put the product inside with the dry ice, put the lid on, another box, bigger box, and make sure it's just all shipped away. And that's pretty much it. So dry
and when
ice
you
is
use the word explode, so should people be careful when they were dealing with dry ice, or are you more so saying that it just expands as the carbon is released?
If there's not holes, that's another detail I left off too. They usually recommend that you poke holes in the box, not in the styrofoam box, but the brown box. That way it can let the air out. And even like UPS, the postal service, because I had to ask myself, because it's certain guidelines that you have to follow, especially when you're using products like that to ship out food. So, and they'll let you know what you need. And
okay, well that's good.
Let you know.
I hope people at home are paying attention, because like I said, I didn't know anything about dry ice, so I never want to make a mistake or put myself in a situation where you got dry ice floating around.
Yeah,
And I just I use it for science experiments.
I don't know. You remember when Chef Lornette, when she's here, I asked her about sending off drinks, and she recommended me to a specific place, and I was just like, yeah, I'm trying to ship off. My first experience, I was worried just sending mean greens, because that's perishable too. It's a juice or infused water, but it's still perishable because I have, fresh ingredients in there. And so getting from here to Chicago, I was worried.
That's a voyage. That is a voyage.
I was worried. I haven't sent anything else since then, but I know I sent some to my grandmother, like a test trial. Not saying my grandmother is a guinea pig, but
she is. But it's all good. So let me ask a question. I know a lot of people are wondering right now. When it comes, so are you saying that from a chef's perspective, dry ice is the number one thing you need to ship food if you want to ship it to someone.
Oh no, that's not the only thing, but that is an option. They have like gel packs. I just really heard about like dry ice or gel pack, and the gel packs usually have that blue liquid in there, and they're frozen. You put them in. They also have these cool packs that have this cool liquid that you can get from a bunch of stores, and they're in this plastic thing. You just place them on the inside. But dry ice is just the best. Like, it stays cold. Eventually those little gel packs are going to cool off. It's just like if you hit a spring and you freeze that little pack and put it on your wrist. Eventually it's going to get warm. That dry ice is icy. It's cold. It's until it makes it to its destination. Like, you don't have to worry. You just have a bigger risk, I feel, with gel packs and those other little cool packs.
Okay.
Because they heat up. They heat up quickly. So,
well, there it is. Well, you've got options. Facebook Live, y'all got options. Just letting you know.
Options.
We want to thank y'all once again so much for tuning in to Facebook. Remember, this show continues on after this. We've got a great upcoming in kitchen series where we're doing some pasta, right? Pasta salad.
Yes, some Italian pasta salad. Yes, and this is very like delicious and light. It's the summertime. A lot of people don't want to be in the kitchen, so this is something that you can get in there and get out.
There it is, something real quick. But remember, in order to get that, you've got to subscribe. Go over to the sphere.tv/A La Carte. We've got some options over there, including iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play Music, and Stitcher for our techie folks. Now, while you're there, make sure you review us. Give us some constructive criticism. We want to know how the show is doing. That way we can provide a better show for you. So make sure you hit those stars. Make sure you leave us some comments so that we understand what's going on. Also, we want to share this. Share this out with all your family, your friends, your colleagues, your fiancés, your haters, anybody. Share it out. Share, and share alike. And last but not least, if you love what we're doing and you think that we're doing a great job and you want to see us continue to grow and expand, go over to our donation page. We're at the sphere.tv/donate, and you can donate right now via a single donation or via Patreon. You see it blinking down below. So make sure you hit one of those two donation options. That way you're able to sow back into us as we sow back into you. Facebook Live, we will see you later. And remember, catch the rest of this show, including our in-kitchen session.
Oh, yes. Don't want to miss it. Good
deal. So
that brings us, of course, to our food temperature safety, since we're talking about dry ice and how safe that is.
Okay.
With food temperatures, like you discussed earlier, usually when they get packages, it's 40, almost, past that threshold of where it's supposed to be to continue to be safe. We talked about this before, the TDZ zone, which is the temperature danger zone. And that just means in a certain temperature, and this is very important because I have to do it with my meal prep, with me pre-prepping meals and delivering it, because I'm delivering myself. So you have to make sure you take it down to a certain temperature so that the bacteria doesn't grow. And basically with the temperature danger zone, anything 135, well, I'm gonna start from the top since we're talking about cold things and delivery. Anything that's supposed to be cold is supposed to be kept 40 degrees and below, but there are some places out here that, just to take that extra step, they want it to be 39 degrees and below, just to ensure. So if it did jump an additional, degrees, it's still, but once it's over 40 degrees, then you need to take it down, whether it's 30 minutes of bringing that temperature down, 1 hour, 15 minutes, 10 minutes. You got to do what you got to do to get that temperature down to keep it safe. Now, as far as hot foods and hot holdings, 135, usually 140. Some people like it a little hotter, 150, just to make sure. Because once food get in between like 70 degrees, that's the prime time. Like you said earlier, 75 degrees, that's the prime time for bacteria. You can't see the bacteria growing.
But
it might look good. It's going to smell good. It's going to taste good. But soon when you eat it and it set in, then you got some problems.
Well, and that's it's so important, because I can think about how we leave pizza out when we get pizza, or we leave other food that just sits on
wings,
our, anything. It just sits on our counter. And I don't think anybody, I know I'm not, I don't know if for those that are watching right now, are you all paying attention to that? Are you concerned when you leave something that sits out on the counter?
Yeah.
Because I know I'm not like, okay, it's 75 degrees in my house. I can only leave this out for 15 minutes. I've got to put this up. And then I was always taught, even defrosting food, I was always taught to leave something somewhere and and just let it sit until it gets to room temperature before you cook it. That's how I was raised, which is obviously so incorrect.
So incorrect, because you just asking for problems and you inviting all the bacteria to come in. Especially if you got to sit in the sink or if you got to sit on the counter where it's just contaminated. And so, yeah. So also with the bacteria and everything growing with foods, like you said, a lot of people leave things out. We're going to be talking about Italian pasta salad, which is very important. This goes hand in hand because a lot of pasta salads have mayo. Mayo is made with egg-based, dairy-based. And you have to think about that when you, I know we have family functions and we want to make sure everybody can get in there and eat and just, but you also have to make sure safety for yourself and for your family to put those things away. So once everyone eats, not to leave it out, you know, place it in a cool place so it can stay cool. And then once more guests come, then that's when you bring it out. And that's a very important thing that, you know, people try to push, especially around Thanksgiving, big holiday time where there's a lot of food just sitting. And that food temperature, people not thinking about food safety,
at all.
Temperatures, you know.
It ain't happening.
It's very important. But then a couple of days, oh, my stomach hurt. I ate too much. I don't think
no,
it's
you ain't eat too much. You ate too much of the wrong thing.
I know. It's just not a good thing. But, you know, when you eat so much, you know, sometimes we have to always make sure safety. Put it up. If it needs to be hot, it needs to be hot. It needs to be cold, it needs to be cold. Speaking on that, you know, we eat so much. We need to make sure that our teeth are taken care of so we can enjoy all these great foods. And so this portion of the show is sponsored by Elite Dental Wellness. Okay, so at Elite Dental Wellness, the vision is to create a welcoming practice that will offer exceptional dental care and a lifetime of dental wellness. We are committed to the finest possible oral care and the oral health and well-being of our patients. Elite Dental Wellness is built upon a foundation of integrity, expertise, and service. Through our commitment to modern dentistry, continual education, and friendly atmosphere, we strive to make our patients feel like they are part of our family. Dentistry can be scary, daunting, and uncomfortable, but Dr. Baptiste and her team works tirelessly to ensure your comfort. Make your appointment today with Dr. Asandra Baptiste at Elite Dental Wellness at 713-789-8680. Make sure you guys get in there, get your teeth together, or keep them together. That way you can keep enjoying this food. And of course, make sure you guys say the sphere. Mention the sphere so you can get that 10% off. You know that.
Why not?
That 10% goes a long way.
That's free money.
Free money.
That's free money. You gotta go back into your groceries.
Well, let me call my dentist the sphere. Oh yeah, you got 10% off.
Y'all got a 10%. Just ask any dentist. Y'all got a sphere 10% off. We heard it on the podcast. Surely somebody's got a discount somewhere.
Let me get 10% off.
Yeah, but food safety very important. I think it's one of those things that, without a doubt, people have to be very, very aware. So for those that are listening right now, you're listening via audio, you're sitting on your couch, make sure you are cooking and putting your food in the right places. You're not just leaving it out, letting it defrost. You're really doing the things that are healthy, that are gonna prevent your kids from getting sick, your spouses from getting sick, things like that. I could just imagine.
Then you have to also think about like your older, you know, your grandmothers and grandfathers and, you know, people who they're not as, you know, not saying they're not as healthy, but their immune systems are a bit more, they can be, you know, compromised a bit more likely than someone who's younger. And so, you know, just making sure that food safety, y'all, like, it's no joke. And that was something that was really, really stressed. And I stress it even with everything that I make, every place that I go to work, food safety. If it's not safe, we can't do it. Food safety, especially with our Italian pasta salad, food safety, because although we don't use mayo with this recipe, we're still using ingredients that can be compromised. So we have to make sure that everything is safe, and we got to keep this thing refrigerated. Okay, gotta keep this thing refrigerated, or else we gonna have problems.
Big problems.
Nobody else ain't gonna want none of my pasta salad if I ever made any more. Like, oh, I don't want her pasta salad. It made my stomach hurt. That's because it was sitting out.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the pasta salad, just to, I guess, give people an idea of what they can expect from our In Kitchen series.
Oh, yes. So with this Italian pasta salad, this is something that is fresh, very affordable, and it's just straight up easy, okay? Straight up easy. With this pasta, we're using a penne pasta. We have some fresh cherry tomatoes. We're using ripe black sliced olives. We have that red onion. We have parsley. And, of course, we're using that traditional crafts. A lot of you guys know Kraft. They're really big for dressings, but in this case, we're using the zesty Italian Kraft dressing, and we just tossed that right up in there. Also, I cannot forget the bacon. I'm sure if Chef Laurinette were here, she would digress about the bacon. The bacon and the butter. The bacon
Can I keep it a buck? She loves her bacon.
And bacon makes everything better, so why not? And we have bacon in this recipe, which is also awesome. So, I mean, you just can't go wrong. Now, that would be the traditional way, what I just named: the bacon, the ripe olives, the parsley, the crafts, and the penne pasta. Now, the healthy way to do this meal, if you wanted to give it a little healthy touch, you can always do, Kraft, they trying to get into the healthy market. They got they trying, but they got olive oil. I actually purchased some myself just last week. Olive oil zesty Italian dressing. Yeah, it tastes really good. Has that little olive tint to it, but it's the bomb. Now, you can also do whole wheat pasta. You don't have to do white pasta. You can do whole wheat, and it's still gonna be good. Now, as far as with bacon, a little healthier touch. I know people preach about not liking bacon, turkey bacon, because it's just no power. It is just bacon. But you can do turkey bacon, or you can do Canadian bacon, and with Canadian bacon it's just less fat with the bacon.
And see, that's the most beautiful part of bacon is the fat.
That's what makes the bacon. It's a shame, but that's what makes the bacon.
Except for beef bacon. I don't know if you ever had beef bacon.
I've
had beef bacon from a local restaurant here. Shout out to Kat's Deli. They have a beef bacon that's so divine. It takes a little getting used to because it tastes different. But once you do, you love it. Yeah, beef bacon. I may have to have some tonight. Hold on, Kat.
Beef bacon. Now, also with this recipe, if you want to make it, fancy, if you want to make it fancier, the better way, you can always go ahead and add in more things like cheese, feta cheese. Okay. You can add in more veggies. More veggies are always good. Mushrooms, portobello mushrooms. If you want to, instead of you using like a vinaigrette, you can even add in additional things. Like, I like personally to use like a white wine just for the flavor. I'm not trying to get anybody drunk eating pasta salad, but I like to throw in a little bit of white wine with that. And I like to also do the other herbs. You can do chives, you can do more onions, green onions, and all that cool good stuff, and it's really, really good to make it fancier. You also don't have to use a noodle. You don't have to use a noodle.
Well, let's talk about it now.
You don't have to
use
a noodle.
Fancy it up, noodle. What you talking then?
You can use a different. Well, when I say no noodle, then like no penne or no rotini, something that'll capture it. Although those are good, you can use like angel hair. Okay. You got all kind of things. Angel hair, linguine, and spaghetti.
Butterfly?
Just to give it.
I mean, what is it? Not butterfly. What's
the bow tie? Just to give it a different touch, and there's so many different ways to do it. Like somebody out here in this world probably using egg noodles for their pasta salad. You never know.
Who knows what's happening?
You never know. So
you know what? I'm gonna add a little something to this salad. I'm gonna add I'm gonna do a little G Hawkins special. Pair this with a nice for a daytime or afternoon eat. Pair this with a nice Pinot Grigio. This is going to go well with a good Pinot Grigio. Shout out to Three Hues. You can catch that on Monday nights, Tuesday mornings here on the network. You can pair this with a nice Pinot Grigio for if you want to do this in a daytime setting, because it's a lot warmer, things like that, especially here in the summertime. In the evening setting, I would say instead of doing a Pinot Grigio, flip it to a Pinot Noir.
Okay.
Now for a nighttime, that's a great pairing with this pasta salad right here, and it's gonna bring out those vegetables, those mushrooms you talked about,
and it's like night and day with these drinks that he's referring night and day, because the one in the earlier time is light, so it flows. Not saying the other option is not light, but it's
Yeah, it's a Pinot Noir.
It's fit for the night.
Finish.
Yeah,
different type of finish. It sits on your palate differently, and it can be a great opening wine for someone who's not accustomed to reds, but it's going to work really well with the pasta salad. So, great option. Great. I just wanted to add a little something. If I'm gonna sit on the show, surely I'm gonna bring something to the table.
Up. We need that, you know, wine pairings. I think something that I do want to start. I want to bring in. We discussed this before, but I want to do like cuisine of the week. Like I want to refer you guys to go and check out a specific cuisine, because sometimes people get swamped into one and they don't know that it's just a world of great food out there.
They're unaware.
And I just love to indulge.
And here's the thing, for those that are watching right now, if you know a good restaurant that has a good cuisine, let us know about it. Shoot us an email, A La Carte at the Sphere TV, or hit us on social media at the Sphere TV, hashtag A La Carte. And while you're doing it, let them know that, hey, they can advertise right here on A La Carte. And this portion of the show is actually sponsored by the Sphere. That's right. Are you starting your business or looking for a place to advertise? Do you have a need to reach out to thousands of people across the world to build your brand or sell your product? If so, get your product placement and advertising needs handled right here at the Sphere. We offer a wide variety of content delivery platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher. Plus, we have a vast demographic reach within the United States, as well as modern countries all across the globe. Our enriched content and inspiring dialogue, coupled with your strategic ad, is surely to hit the mark every time. Call us today at area code 832-772-7789, or send an email over to advertise@thesphere.tv.
Oh, yeah.
But that's what it is.
That's what it is.
Make that happen. Well,
it happen.
I'm excited. Once again, thank you so much for letting me sit in.
Yes,
I'm excited for this in kitchen now.
I'm always excited. I'm always excited to share with the viewers, you know, how A La Carte get down in the kitchen. That's so that y'all can get down in y'all kitchen too. Make sure, like we always talk about, we have blue aprons now. So Team Blue, A La Carte, and the blue aprons. So put your aprons on, and we about to go ahead. That's right. We finna get in there and cook this Italian pasta salad. Okay. So get ready.
Cool, please get ready. Head into the kitchen. Thanks again. We'll see y'all soon.
Bye. Back to the kitchen portion of A La Carte. I'm your host, Chef Jones, with Good Meal Deals Personal Chef Service.
And I'm your host, Chef Laurinette, with Helping Hands Food Delivery.
And today we have something that is very quick and delicious for you guys. We know the summertime is coming. It's hot outside. Not everybody want to be in the kitchen. You know, that's a big issue, a big fight, I would say. Nobody wants to be in the kitchen when the stove is on. But we have something that's going to give you a quick breeze because it's cold. It's a cold pasta salad, and it's something that's very...
It's almost like a quick six we did.
Yeah, almost like a quick six. We just got a couple extra ingredients, but still can get the job done, and it's very inexpensive. Of course, A La Carte, we want to make sure you guys are eating A La Carte style foods, but we also want you guys to save money at the same time, enjoying all these great meals. So of course, we're going to go over the ingredients with you. This is the good way, which is the traditional way to make this pasta. It is a Italian pasta salad. So we have a penne pasta, we have some ripe black sliced olives, red onions, we have fresh parsley, we have bacon bits, and we have cherry tomatoes, and of course the good Kraft zesty Italian dressing. Make sure you guys are sure to shake this up so we can mix in all that good flavor in there.
Make sure you get zesty at the store too.
Zesty, not the light, but you got to get zesty.
It makes a difference in the flavor of the pasta. Our recipe on the PDF that you guys have already gotten together, it said salt and pepper to taste. And so when you get the zesty, it's less required additional seasoning.
Yep, that's why we don't have any salt or pepper here. I know you guys are probably wondering how are you seasoning, but we're actually using the seasoning and flavors of our components and ingredients in the meal. The bacon is salty, the olives are salty. This is gonna have some saltiness in it, and of course the zing
from the red onions will give you a little bite similar to pepper. So you have everything you need in the actual ingredients. So time to assemble.
Time to assemble. Of course, with the pasta, we did follow the instructions on the box, making sure to boil water. We always tell you guys to salt the water. It's very, very important. That way you get your pasta tasting really good. That's also an additional step to seasoning,
Yes.
so you don't have to season the pasta as well, making sure that water is
salted. The pasta will
salted.
absorb some of the salt in the water,
Mhm.
which means less uncooked seasoning in your pasta salad.
Yes.
So
I
we
guess
boil the pasta. We add a little bit of salt, a little bit of oil to the water,
Mhm.
and al dente, 5 to 7 minutes for the penne pasta.
And
So.
that was pretty much it. We drained it. Now with the olives, you could feel free if you want to use whole olives, you can. Even with these tomatoes, they have so many different kinds out there. The
Yes.
cherries, the grapes, the heirlooms. Feel free to use any kind of tomato, even if you want to get a whole tomato and chop it up. Do your thing. But we chose, cherry tomatoes today. Of course, we have our big bowl here, and we also have tongs just to help us to mix this meal. So we're gonna go ahead and jump right into that.
The fun part, time to get started. So we start with the base, which will be the pasta. Again, already pre-cooked, and as you can see, it has a little glisten. That's from the oil that was in the water, and it won't stick to each other when we put it in the bowl.
Whoop.
All right, so we have our pasta. Break it up a little bit.
Be gentle with that thing. It's
Yes.
pasta.
We want to keep them whole, but we just don't want them to stick to each other. All right, so pasta's good.
And then with the zesty Italian, you're gonna put about maybe a half a cup to 1/3 of a cup of the zesty Italian dressing on there. You can put more if you want, but it's not really a big deal. Also, you guys, make sure you unscrew the cap and take the lid off too.
We can't pour without. So
we forget sometimes. This got a little spot on it.
Put it back on. Give it one good shake. Then we give it a good shake.
Yeah,
we want to make sure all of it's off the bottom. Basically, that's how you know you have a good shake. She's gonna open it, trying. It's not coming out. So about 1/3 onto your actual pasta.
Ooh.
A little bit more.
That looks really good.
There we
And
go.
also with this zesty Italian, it has little specks of herbs and things in there. So it's also going to give it some nice color on that plain pasta. And it's going to add a bit more glisten to that pasta. A little bit more.
Just a tad more. There we go.
Of
So
course.
once you stir it, you can kind of tell if the pasta's picking up the sauce or not.
Oh,
so we
yes.
need it just a little bit more. One more squirt, that's all.
Of course, for you guys out there who wants to be healthy, they do sell zesty Italian that is made with extra virgin olive oil, so you can go and get that and still enjoy without feeling like you picking up a lot of fat from that grease. Next thing we're gonna add are the black olives. Once again, we use 1 small can of the ripe black olives, and they come already pre-sliced, so that's another key point that's saving you time. And we're gonna mix those in there. Awesome. And then we're gonna go ahead and place the onion in. This is a half of 1 red onion, and you just give it a rough chop. If you like the pieces smaller, feel free to go ahead and chop it down. But for this instance, a la carte, of course, we gave you guys a rough chop.
It smells so good.
Next, we're going to be adding in our cherry tomatoes. And this is just 1 little package of the cherry tomatoes. There's people out there that really love tomatoes, so feel free to use the whole thing. We're using the whole container. This pasta is very vibrant, full of color from the tomatoes, the black, just bringing it all together. So
one thing I will say, because I've made this for my mother before, and she doesn't like onion.
Okay.
But you have to put the onion in there, guys. It gives it a flavor, even if you don't eat them. So if you want to do like a bigger cut, like Chef Robin said, we did a rough chop. If you want to do a big cut or just a complete round slice, so they're much bigger and you can pick them out later, that's fine. But they need to be in the salad for the flavor.
Oh, yes. Also, another thing with this pasta salad, you can always feel free to do feta cheese. Feta cheese.
And that'll be another salt component as well, so you again won't need any additional seasoning.
Oh yes, feta cheese. Now we're gonna go ahead and add bacon. Who doesn't love bacon? Bacon makes everything good, so don't be scared to go ahead and put it in.
I'm just saying, I would have put a little more bacon, but
a little more bacon.
No, it's pretty good. Once you mix it in, you'll see that it evenly coats all the pasta that's in there. it's a good distribution of each.
Last but not least, we have our fresh parsley. Now with this fresh parsley, this gives it that earthy touch that you're looking for. Okay, mix that together really good.
Okay,
that looks really good. Now
looks
like
yum.
we said, you guys, if you want to put in a little bit of more of your zesty Italian, feel free. It's not gonna hurt anything, just gonna add a bit more flavor. And of course, with that bacon in there, go ahead and throw in some more bacon in the feta cheese.
Absolutely.
And also, we can give them a shot of how this looks.
Yeah,
like.
We're zoomed in now. We can see the bowl of pasta with all the ingredients.
Looks awesome. You see how all the colors, the white pasta, the red tomatoes, the olives, the green, everything just comes together, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna taste awesome.
Super easy, super
I'm
simple.
about to grab 2 bowls now, so we can go ahead and show them how to put this in bowls.
Awesome. Thank you.
This is
it's gonna be a crowd favorite, guys.
Yes, it will be. And you just can put this inside of a bowl. Very simple.
It's a great lunch item too, honestly.
Yes, it's a light lunch. That way you don't have to worry about feeling too full, but you're still eating a great meal. Thanks to A La Carte. Oh yeah.
And the bacon, as you can see, has coated the pasta. It's sticking to the pasta because we had that Italian or zesty Italian sauce on there. There we go.
Looks so good. Looks so good.
All right, so here we go.
So those look really good, really good. Also, another quick tip: after you make the pasta salad, of course, you want to chill it in the refrigerator for about a good 30 minutes. It will even be great if you made it overnight. With this zesty Italian dressing, it's gonna really marinate everything in that pasta salad. So once you eat it, it's just gonna be the bomb.
And the penne pasta is a good vessel for it as well, because it's a hollow pasta rather. So it'll absorb that flavor internally, and it'll just be packed as soon as you bite into it. So
oh yes, so we're looking good.
Yes, ma'am. So we have some good Italian pasta salad.
Can't go wrong with that.
Not at all.
Can't go wrong. So of course we want you guys' feedback, because we know everybody has a different way of making pasta salad, whether it's potato salad or egg
using
salad
different
or
pasta.
chicken salad. Everybody does it different. So you want to hear from you guys. Of course, you can always find us on social media, on Instagram, which would be at the Spirit TV, hashtag A La Carte. Please tag us in some pictures, because we want to see y'all creations. See how y'all throwing down for these barbecues. It's going to be a lot of barbecues going down. It's already has been, because, you know, a lot of graduations passed and everything. But we want to see it.
Fan favorite. So
fan favorite.
Definitely tag us in your pictures using hashtag A La Carte. And
you can also, they can be sure to subscribe. That way you guys will never miss another episode, or if you haven't missed any, thank you for being strong. A La Carte team A La Carte. We got to come up with a name for our viewers so we know.
A La Carte strong. There we go.
That way they'll know. But you guys make sure you subscribe via iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Stitcher. Yes. That way you can always see our happy faces in these great meals. So
absolutely. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for another wonderful episode of A La Carte. Again, send us your pictures, any questions that you may have, and we will see you next week.